All right, good Monday afternoon, everyone. It is, like I said, Monday, April 10th. Hopefully, everyone had a good Easter out there and a great weekend. We're going to be warming up this week, except for the Gulf Coast. Going to have basically a cutoff low pressure kind of just skirt along the Gulf Coast this week, and I'll get into that in just a minute. We have a little bit of severe weather to do, maybe some severe weather today, later today as well, across the plains. But click that like button, subscribe, share this link with your friends and family. And if you'd like to join, if you're on YouTube, if you want to become they call it a member. It's basically supporting us, support the work we do for you. We are giving away Midland weather radios all through the month of April. Every Saturday, we will have a new giveaway for our members and supporters over on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So if you want to support us, support the work we do for you over on Facebook, it's $4.99 a month. As I said before, it's cheaper than your normal Starbucks coffee. All right, so let's get into what's happening across the country. Unseasonable cool weather is occurring over here towards the southeast. We got frost advisories out here towards South Carolina, over towards North Carolina as well, and parts of Virginia for tonight. Like I said, unseasonably cool across the southeast, but the high pressure starting to build, and by mid to late week, it's going to be centered over basically Tennessee, Kentucky, with the southwest flow across most of the northern parts of the United States, western parts of the forecast area in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. We're going to see a significant warm up. Now, along the Gulf Coast, basically from southeast Texas all the way through Florida, it's going to become unsettled, as it has been this past weekend as well. So across the West, we basically have some hydro products out because of the snowpack, the record amount of snowpack, especially out here in the West. Even over towards Utah as well, some of the snowiest seasons on record across parts of the mountains there as well. So we have flood watches and flood advisories and some hydro products out that's going out for the next 3 months, showing how much flooding could happen when all the snowpack starts melting over the next few months. Also, there is a lot of snowpack up here across the northern plains, especially across Minnesota. A lot of it's got to melt, so the Mississippi River Valley here, probably beware over the next 2 to 3 weeks as a lot of the snowpack up here melts. Like I said, Minneapolis, they had over double what they normally get on average in a season. So I think they've had 80, 90 inches of snow up here in Minneapolis, and their normal amount's about 40 to 42 inches, I believe. So lots of snow up in that neck of the woods, and all that's got to melt as well, and it's going to be draining into the Mississippi River Valley basically from Minnesota, and then it's going to go down through the mid-Mississippi Valley here. So that's something to keep an eye on over the next couple weeks as we get this snowpack starting to melt. All right, hopefully everybody can see this okay, but this basically is going to sum up the week. We got a big trough of low pressure out here towards the west, unsettled conditions out here in the west, a big bubble of high pressure that's going to happen over the center and eastern parts of the United States. Like I said, there's going to be high pressure probably centered over here towards the Ohio Valley as we go towards mid to late week. Now we're going to have a cutoff low pressure that's going to be skirting along the Gulf Coast, going to be pretty unsettled across the south here with some hit or miss marginal chances of severe weather, but nothing really to write at home about. There's no tornado outbreaks, no massive severe weather outbreaks over the next week or so. Our next big shot of rain over most of the area is going to be probably this next weekend. And I'll have further videos of that. But we need to enjoy this nice, calm, lot more calmer weather this week as well. All right, so we got basically a little slight risk area out here towards Oklahoma, southeastern parts of Kansas, with the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center as of 11:30 this morning. So, slight risk of severe thunderstorms from southeastern Kansas through west central Oklahoma. Severe or scattered severe hail in excess of maybe hen size golf balls or so. Um, Isolated thunderstorm wind gusts 60, 70 miles per hour is possible this afternoon. Basically, from, like I said, north western parts of Texas here. Well, all like back here towards Wichita Falls, this corridor here, going up through Oklahoma into Kansas for, like I said, this afternoon through this evening. Okay. So stay weather aware in these areas. Like I said, main risk is going to be very large hail and some isolated damaging wind gusts out in this general vicinity. As we get towards tomorrow, it's just general thunderstorms. So basically along the Gulf Coast, from New Orleans over towards Houston to Austin, as basically this low pressure gets cut off and just meanders down here towards the Gulf Coast and slowly drifts east. Got some thunderstorm possibilities along down here in the Keys and southern parts of Florida as well, including Miami. Day 3 outlook: basically some general thunderstorms up here in Nebraska, southern South Dakota, basically mountains southwest Colorado, northwestern parts of New Mexico, and then of course along the Gulf Coast with that cutoff low pressure. There's general thunderstorms basically across the Florida Peninsula here, all the way through the southern Gulf Coast, from Houston and New Orleans, and up towards close to Mobile, Alabama. All right, so basically here's the 500 millibar pattern. Big expansive high pressure. This is going towards midweek, basically for the northern half of the country. And here's that pesky cutoff low that's down here towards southeastern parts of Texas and through Louisiana, and that's going to skirt off. Basically, just skirt along the Gulf Coast here, just create real unsettled weather across that area. And I'll show you here. Here's the vorticities. You can see this big bowling ball here. It's just going to kind of meander around the Gulf Coast here and just slowly kind of drift around. So, like I said, it's going to be very unsettled across the Gulf Coast or Gulf states from southeastern Texas all the way through Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, Alabama, parts of Georgia as we get towards later in the week, and Florida as well. So, and then that's gonna try to get out of here by this next weekend before another trough comes down and gives us some more active weather as we get into this weekend. And I'm going to show you that here. So here's that upper level low by Thursday, Friday. This next trough is pushing this high up towards the high pressure up towards the northeastern parts of the United States, and then another trough coming down with a possible cold front coming in for this weekend. So lots, especially up here where this expansive high pressure is, lots of 70s, 60s up here north, probably 70s and 80s across most of the area. So except a big exception across the Gulf Coast states here. They're going to be very unsettled, cloudy, cool, and showery, and some thunderstorms in there, but nothing really severe. There's, like I said, there's a little severe shot out here towards Oklahoma today, but that's about it for this week. Yes, we're going to get stormier this weekend. Nothing severe at this time, thank goodness. We will keep an eye on that as well. All right, here is precip over the next 7 days. A lot of this across the Gulf Coast is with that pesky upper low that's cut off. So we're going to get a lot of rain down here towards the Gulf Coast. 3 to 5 inches of rain possible across southeastern parts of Louisiana, into southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, into a lot of Florida as well. They're actually incurring somewhat of a drought down there. So this is welcome rainfall down here in Florida as well. Here's most of this rain up and this rain up here towards basically north of I-40 north. All that's going to be this next week, or this next late this week into next weekend, as this trough starts to come in into the pattern across the central and northeastern parts of the United States. All right, so that basically wraps up this week in review. If there's I will have another update in a couple days, unless something pressing comes out. But like I said, there's going to be some severe weather today across Oklahoma, parts of southeastern Kansas, in the northern parts of Texas, right around the Red River or so. The main threat's going to be very large hail, up to hand size, maybe some tennis balls out there, and some isolated scattered gusts up to 60, 70 miles per hour out that way. Other than that, no severe weather is expected for the rest of the week. There is some, like I said, there's some general thunderstorm possibilities across the Gulf Coast as we go throughout most of the week here. And then as we get into this next weekend, trough's going to be dipping in, and then we're going to have some more rain and thunderstorm chances as we get towards next weekend. And we'll have more on that midweek. Thank you so much for watching today. Click that thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to this video, it is free, or subscribe to my channel, it is free, and then click all on notifications so you'll be notified every time we go live or post content on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your week.